Good afternoon and welcome to Business. My name is Sandra Isenamapeno, and government expert Dr. Eric Oduro says Ghana may not be able to meet its revenue targets for this year unless some reforms are carried out on tax incentive policies. According to him, tax expenditures formed on the nation's GDP in 2017 alone was to 5.2%. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Osai said to earn more on revenue, government must reform the laws.
For us to meet it, unless we review our tax incentive regime, both the legal and administrative regime, including enforcement, because it is very clear that the beneficiaries are benefiting, but the society or the country is not benefiting as expected. So I think if we don't review the incentive regime, it is going to affect us. Most importantly, the various mining and minerals agreements that we sign as a country, where we have stability clauses in there, takes all these incentive organizations outside the current legal regime. So it makes it difficult again for us to be able to mobilize it. So I will advocate that if we can pass what we call an Unconscionable Contracts Review Amendment Act, a law that sought to give the government the opportunity to review all such minerals and mining agreements or contracts, that seems to be very unconscionable.
So a lot has been happening in the world of business, and my colleague Emmanuel Abwaji joins me in studio to talk about some updates and what to expect on the marketplace. Emmanuel, I understand that the Bank of Ghana is putting some reforms in place to control the currency markets. Will you be giving an update on that on the marketplace?
Of course, I will be giving an update, and it's actually measures that the Bank of Ghana is putting in place to to regularize the forex market. If you could remember, some time back in the previous regime, the Bank of Ghana put in some measures, temporary measures, to halt the depreciation of the cedi. They didn't work though perfectly, but this time round, the Bank of Ghana says it is going to regularize the performance of the cedi.
What's the current situation on the market?
Well, the current situation is that we have various players determining the parity rate between the cedi and the dollar. But this time around, the Bank of Ghana says it is going to put in place the Ghana cedi reference, what is known as the Ghana cedi reference. It is going to be a set of guidelines for all players within the market to look at it before setting the cedi. So we don't have a situation where people, or if you have dollars, you can confidently quote your own cedi value for it, thereby increasing the depreciation rate of the local currency. So
specifically, what should viewers expect from you on the marketplace?
Well, so on the marketplace, we're going to do an extensive analysis on this particular issue. We take a look at the trend analysis of how the cedi has been falling to the dollar over the years, and then we speak to an economist to actually tell us whether this particular intervention would work perfectly this time around to halt the cedi's depreciation.
Okay, thank you so much. And marketplace comes out in about just 15 minutes, so make a date with Emmanuel Abwaji. That's all for business this afternoon, but 1 o'clock we have more business news. My name is Sandra Isenamapeno.